All right, 1 second, guys. I'm going to start the stream in just a second. Need to get it live. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm going to start the stream in just a second. Need to get it live. All right, 1 second, guys. I'm going to start the stream in just a second. Need to get it live. Still having a little bit of technical issues. All right. I'm going to start the stream in just a second. Need to get it live. Still having a little bit of technical issues. All right. I'm going to start the stream in just a second. Need to get it live. Let's see here. Having a little bit of technical issues. All right. I'm going to start the stream in just a second. Need to get it live. Let's see here. Having a little bit of technical issues. All right. Let's see here. Having a little bit of technical issues. All right. All right, so I guess I'm live now. Sorry about that delay. All right, hold on a sec, guys. Bear with me. So I guess I'm live now. Sorry about that delay. Okay. All right, so I guess the ECP press conference just finished, and it was kind of a bust. Not much happening. Looks like they're postponing pretty much anything that we thought might happen. So maybe we'll just have to wait until the next ECP press conference to see if it will actually move. So what I think I wanted to do something a little different with you guys today. Good morning. It's morning here in the States. It's 9:35 a.m. and it's nice to see all of you guys in here today. Quite a few of you, 123 people. And we're gonna talk first a little bit about some fundamental analysis, and then get into the technical, and then we'll talk a little bit about my trades as well that I took yesterday and also the day before. So I'm still pretty new. I'll keep introducing myself. This will be the last week I do that. I'm Ryan. I have 11 years trading experience. I am on SimpleTrader.com as well. I have an account there. I'm currently ranked at 74, I believe, if that's refreshed. And I'm tracking my account on my FX book as well. I trade a little differently than most people. I'm a counter trend trader, and Nick put me in the feed as a counter trend trader. So that's pretty much what I do, and I do it for a specific reason, just because I feel that trend trading can be really inconsistent. We don't know how long the trend's going to go for. It's really difficult to know how long to hold on to trades, where to put your stop loss. I've done trend trading in the past. I've had some success doing it, but also sometimes that wasn't so successful. Found that it was more inconsistent than anything else. I know some people out there do well with trend trading, and I might get back into it at some point, but right now I'm really liking counter trend trading, and I feel like it has a lot of profitability. So I guess I wanted to get into the fundamental analysis a little bit. Now, some of the things I'm going to say here, guys, is a little different than probably what you've heard before, and I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me. But what these publications like Bloomberg and Reuters tell us, their predictions, or even Goldman Sachs, they say, oh, this is going to happen in the market. You guys need to buy the euro before this ECP press conference, or sell the euro before the ECB press conference comes out, because we think that there's going to be a negative tone in this conference. Just using this ECB conference as an example, for plenty of other news statements that come out. But these predictions, they're just predictions. It's completely conjecture. We don't know what's going to happen. Just because some huge analyst with a massive reputation says this is going to happen does not mean that that's going to happen. Maybe there is a possibility that could happen, but honestly, in my opinion, it's no different than if my mom called me and she said, "Ryan, I think you should buy the euro." It's no different to me. It's an opinion. My mom has no experience in the forex world, but to me, it's basically no different, because it's all conjecture. It's a guess. We don't know. It's a prediction, and honestly, it doesn't matter how much knowledge somebody has. They don't know the actual answer. So that is my opinion on news, and I think it's important to know what's going on in the news, but I think it's good to be reactionary. So react to the news when it comes out, but I'm not a person to react before the news comes out. I actually stay out of news completely. I don't want to take the risk because I don't know what's going to happen before that news comes out. So why would I place a trade before the news comes out if I don't know what's going to happen in the market? I know that there's going to be high volatility, but I don't really know what direction it's going to go in. And so I just stay out of the market completely. So I'm not sure what you guys think on that. If you're basically a news trader, meaning that you trade before the news or even during, I consider a news trader a person that puts in a trade directly before the news on purpose and deliberately, hoping to guess the market. And to me, it's just a guess. So why not trade or be a reactionary trader? Somebody that waits for that news to come out, knows where the direction is potentially going, because the news has already came out, and react in that way, and execute your trades based on what has happened instead of what's going to happen. Okay. So let's get into the technical side and how my fundamental analysis helps my technical trading. I look at the news to see what's just in general, what's strengthening and what's weakening currencies. Okay. So if I see that a news statement comes out saying that something happened in Japan and they're talking about stimulus, like to try to support the yen or Japan in its economy if it's struggling, I'm gonna look at that stuff and see and have that in my mind. So I have the idea that the yen could be potentially weakening, so it might be a little bit risky to be buying the yen at this point. But I am also aware that a couple weeks ago, when this new statement came out about the possible stimulus happening in Japan, that we didn't know what it was. We didn't know what the stimulus was. We didn't know the details behind what was going to happen, and if anything was really going to happen. It was just, again, conjecture. So what I did is I actually bought the Euro Japanese yen and the US dollar Japanese yen, and the yen weakened a lot more than I expected. Now, this could have been a mistake on my hand. It could have been something that a problem that I miscalculated, thinking that the yen wouldn't take as much of a hit as it did, but it did. I don't really know. It's hard to really guess, but I did know that we didn't know the details of the stimulus, or the easing that they were going to do. And so I decided to buy the yen, thinking that it might go against me a bit. And it did. It went more, and I ended up taking a loss. Okay, so based on that, I understand that I knew the outlook, but I miscalculated how much it would go. But based on what I heard and what I put into my understanding, I realized that that the possibility of it not being as heavy as I thought it would be was there. But sometimes we get it wrong, and we move on. But I guess to my point is it's important to know what's happening with the news, and what's causing the pairs to move. And for example, they were saying that the ECB press conference, there was going to be a negative tone, saying that the euro was going to need more stimulus, and it was obviously mixed today. So that didn't take place. But I'm going to wait for that press conference to come out before I take any trades, being well aware that it could go down, but I don't really know. So I'm going to wait to see what the market shows me, and I'm going to look at the candlesticks. I'm going to see if it's going down, like here. I'm going to see if this starts going down, and then base my trades off of that movement. But I'm not going to pick anything before. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I have an idea of what's going on in the market, but I wait to see what happens on the candlesticks to make my full decision. All right. Okay, so let's move on. I've taken quite a bit of time talking, so hopefully I didn't bore you guys. But I just kind of want to place this emphasis on thinking in a new way, a different way than what's typical. You don't have to follow the news so strictly, thinking that everything that this analyst or that analyst says is gold, because it's not. And it's no different than if you or me decided to say that this is going to happen. So don't base your decisions concrete on that. All right, so let's get into the charts. So we're looking at the euro US dollar right now, and I've been talking about the similar thing that I've mentioned. It's been doing this flat range for a while. Recently, it did break this some lower support levels. There's still this one way back here that it needs to go farther down to break that. My prediction, which is, take it with a grain of salt, is that it will continue to go down. But I'm not going to trade. I'm not going to execute trades based on that prediction. I'm going to wait to see what happens and look at the candles and then execute my trade based on that. Sorry, I'm reading the questions to see if anybody's asking anything. Okay. Looks like FX Mexican is talking about some setups. Okay. I had no trades. I haven't taken any trades on the euro US dollar for a while now. It's been too flat. There's not a lot of volatility going on. As you can see, after the ECB press conference, there was almost no movement. There was a 45 pip candle up and about the same going back down. The US dollar Japanese yen. Now, this pair has been in this big old trend going up. And I took quite a few trades on this pair because I knew it was going up, and as you know, I'm a counter trend trader. And I entered, there was a bullish and bearish engulfing candle here. There was a harami here. And I did enter this harami. I think I didn't enter this one here, but it was a good trade. I definitely entered this one here, and it hit profit. I entered this one here as well, and that was a sell. So both of these obviously were sells or shorts, and those hit profit as well. Let's see. Tampax has a question. Ryan has a question for you. Are you a Trump supporter? Let me write that. No, I am not a Trump supporter, and never have been. I won't get into details why. I don't think that's important right now. So yes, entered here, took that trade. There was another Harami here, entered that trade. Another one here, I entered there. And then the most recent ones were here. As you can see, this one didn't go down enough. It went about 10 pips, then it bounced back up. And I took this one. I took this Harami. So you guys might be asking, some of the new traders here, since there's quite a few people in this room. I'm looking for a new high to be made, and then a bearish candle or some kind of indication after, letting me know that the pair is going to retrace or reverse in some way. So this high here was broken on this candle. Then we had a Harami candle here. Price moved down. So we took that position. I entered here. That was my short position. And I hit profit of 20 to 30 pips. Same thing here. New high, Harami candle, enter, sell. There we go. I entered here, new high. This high was broken. New high there was made. Harami candle, short. First short. And then the second short position was here. And I ended up taking profit about in this area. So the profit from the first trade and a loss from the second trade, but the profit from the first trade was more, and I ended up coming out with on this trade 30 pips. Okay. Let's see what the message board is writing. Tampax, so you're a Hillary supporter. You know what? It's interesting because right now, it's like who's the worst of two evils, kind of. And I don't think that either of the candidates are amazing, but I do think that Hillary is the better choice, and that's my opinion. Let's see, anything else? Okay, looks like no other questions at this moment. So this trade that I just showed you, this closed out just a few hours ago. So position 1 and then position 2, just a few hours ago, and like I said, it was around in that area. The move down, I was hoping that would happen. It did. It just was very postponed. And what we know of that move and why that happened was because of the news that came out. I think how you pronounce his name is Kuroda. Said no need for possibility of helicopter money. This was just a tweet that came out, and this tweet is really what caused this move back down. It's crazy to know that what a tweet can do if you have a name, and we can see that this is what caused the yen to move, and it's the biggest move on the yen pair since this whole trend started happening back on the 8th, it was pretty substantial, fairly quick, and it definitely got me out of my position during the course of the night here in the U.S. So Yes, I can explain the rules. I have explained it most of the time during explain the Juan is asking to explain the rules of a Harami candle. Uh, so let me help you out here. Okay, so let's give you this picture. So this is a decent definition of a bullish and bearish Harami candle. It's when the market moves down or the pair moves down in a trend and a downward trend, and then you have a Harami candle, which is basically like an inside candle, and then it's an indication or hint. It's a hint that the market. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. I keep saying the market. I don't understand why I keep doing that. The pair. It's a hint that the pair that we're trading could potentially go up, or during if it's in a bearish trend, and we see one of those candles, one of those inside Harami candles. Same thing with the bearish Harami, upward trend, and a inside bearish candle, and then the trend moves back down. So that's a Harami. You can also do engulfing candles. I mean, there's so many reversal candles that you can do. So I mean, you have diagrams here that show you all the different types of um, reversals, reversal candles and patterns that you can look at. And these are the kind of things that I'm looking at. I tend to like the Harami and the engulfing candle the most. I feel like those are some of the best single candle indications for possible market reversal. And I look for a small piece of that. Okay. So let's move on to the Euro Australian dollar. This has been heading back up, and it's about 300 pips at this point. And I haven't taken any positions, although I was looking up here for a move back down. I didn't get any candles. This here was not a Harami or a bullish and a bearish engulfing. Nothing up here as well. So I didn't take any trades there. This also was not a bearish engulfing. This candle here was a bearish engulfing, but I didn't want to take that trade because I want to see this level broken before I take any trades going back down. So I did not take this position here. Let's check in. Sniper FX Harami candles and inside day candles are the same, correct? Yes, you're right. I mean, because if you look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you'll see that you still have the same inside candle potential. Like you see one right here, that bearish inside candle. And this didn't make a new top. I didn't break the high of this previous area here. But it did get really close, and then we had this, and then the market did move back down. So it's up to you how you want to trade these inside candles. Do you want to wait for a new top? Do you want to let it hit this support area, this resistance area up here before you enter? Do you want to trade this way with the trend? How do you want to trade it? I mean, because there's a bearish Harami there. After a small move back up, there was this bearish around me there, and then it moved back down in a big way during the trend. So you could trade this with a trend too, but you're not going to win every single trade. That's, you must know that by now. How many history candles you require to decide a higher high? So that's a good question, Bangosh. It's really difficult, and I think that just comes with watching the charts and understanding what a trend looks like. I don't need any indicators to show me that the pair is trending. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think indicators are stupid. I think they're stupid. I think that they are misleading. They are actually, in some cases, more damaging than they are beneficial. Because they most of the time will show us what's happening in the market after it's already happened, and we're trying to get into a trade early enough so we can actually make a profit. What an indicator will do is show us what's happened pretty much after the movement of that pair has completed. And that's a bad thing, because then you get into the trade and it goes against you. Have you ever wondered that, or you've seen that happen to yourself, where you get into a trade and almost immediately it goes against you? Is because a lot of times we're entering trades way too late. Okay, let's see. FX Rabbit, you are absolutely correct. Thanks. Ryan, do you find divergence useful of trading reversals? I have used divergence as well. I feel like it's a decent indication, but again, it's still a prediction, and I find it more of a prediction than what the candles are showing me. So I used to try to trade divergence, but I found it not very reliable. You can trade divergence in a combination of what I'm telling you here. I like divergence as like maybe a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a confirmation of the move that you're taking. Ryan's comments. Yeah, I know. Potter. Yeah, re-entering trade. Yeah. So Potter. Yeah, I re-enter trades. I don't know if re-entering is the correct choice of word, but since I basket trade. And basket trading means that you enter at multiple trades, and you take your profit is based on the average from all those positions that you take. Some will be losing trades, some will be winners, and you close them all at the same time. You come out with an average profit. To me, it's a safer way to trade, and it helps me get out of my trades that go against me. I have a cutoff. I think it's important to have a cutoff, because I don't want to hold on to those trades for a long period of time. That's fine. That's fine, Potter. I understand that. I use very simple terms. I'm not this type of trader that tries to impress you with fancy technical terms. That's just not who I am, and I don't think it's necessary. Just because a trader can say intelligent words regarding the market and technical and fundamental analysis does not mean that he's automatically a good trader. Potter's not causing trouble. He's fine. Okay, so let's get back into the charts, and I'll try to continue to reply to some of your questions. Oh yeah, FX Protector. I believe that it is also possible to figure out divergence just from candles. That is true. That is true as well. Um, like I said, I think divergence is a decent asset to use, and I have used it quite a bit in the past. But it's not necessary to use with how I trade here. Okay, so let's move on to the odd USD. So what we have here is not much going on. I have been watching this top and this bottom here, and it's 200 pips. So this move from the top to the bottom is big enough for me to take some counter moves on this move down, looking for it to go up. Okay, so I have not seen anything yet. There was, except I did take a trade 2 days ago. I think this was on Tuesday. I took a buy here on this trade. I saw this candle hit, and we received a Harami candle here with the potential to move up. So I took a long position. Then I took another long position here. Now that last long was, this was an inside, this is also an inside Harami right there. And it didn't move up again, so it continued to go down against me. Then I saw this happen. And that is a bullish engulfing. New low, closed, the body of the candle closed below, above the open. I'm going to zoom this in. I don't think you guys can see very well. Okay, maybe this will be easier. All right, first entry. 1 here. Entry 2 there. Okay, and then we had this candle here, and it was bullish and engulfing. And I just mentioned the body of the candle closed above the open. It made a new low, and then the pair shot up a bit finally. So it was a delayed reaction. We entered our first trade there. It went down against us. Second trade, it went down against us again. And then eventually, with all these indications that the pair was going to move up, it eventually did. So it was, when I see it grouped up like this a lot, I start thinking, okay, we are getting more potential for it to move down or move up. And that's what happened. So I was in 2 positions on the total, here and here. I did not re-enter on this candle. It was too close to my second entry. I waited it out and ended up closing both my positions at this level. And then you saw that it ended up going back down and reversing, or continuing the trend. So let's look at the questions, see if there's anything new going on. Okay, looks like nothing new. So I did hit profit. I took about I think I took about 20 pips on these 2 odd USD trades. Okay, let's move on to the next pair. Okay, so we have this high here that was just barely broken recently. So I started looking for trades in here. Let's zoom in. There's this high as well that was broken, but I wanted the one from previously that was about at this level to be broken before I looked for trades. There was this Harami here. Now this is really questionable because it's not clean. This was a new high here. This didn't break the high, but we did have Harami right after that. It's a little bit sloppy. It's not a great entry in here, but it's still technically an entry. An entry that I did not end up taking. I think I was asleep when this happened, and ended up going down after that yen news or that tweet happened soon after. So I did not take any trades on that because I was sleeping, and because I was in the U.S. dollar Japanese yen trade already during that time, and I was in 2 trades. Okay, so let's move on. Actually, no, let's see. So I'll be looking for more trades on this pair once this level up here is broken. So this needs to continue to go up before I will look for active trades. And on the pairs that we've already discussed, I'm looking for this level on the AUD/USD to be broken. So this needs to continue to move back down before I will enter counter trades. The Euro Australian dollar. I want this level to be broken, and I want this to move down more. I want this level to be broken at least before I have potential to enter trades. No, actually, it's only 100 pips from the top from the very top down to this lower point. So I'm going to want more like 200 pips. So the pair is going to need to go past that level or go above this level in order for me to take any positions. So I'm not actively looking on trades on that pair because it's so far away at this point. US dollar Japanese yen. I'm looking for this level to be broken, and this level. So if it goes down, I'll be looking for trades past this level. And if it goes up, I'll be looking for trades past this level, or this level here. Okay. So we have a couple pairs left that I wanted to talk about. The pound Japanese yen, substantial levels here and here. No active trades for me right now. I was not looking for trades in here. This level was too strong for me up here. I wanted that level to be broken, and it didn't. It wasn't enough. So although we did have a Harami here and almost a bearish engulfing here, it didn't quite happen. Didn't take any of these trades. They weren't good enough. There's also a bearish Harami here. There's also one here. But this level was not broken, and like I said before, I wanted this level was the biggest importance to me. So this, not important. This level, not important. This one is not important either. This one, yes, this one is up here. That's the one that I'm looking for. And like I said before, it didn't break. So nothing really going on that pair. All right, let's see if anything else is happening with questions. Okay, so it looks like you guys are still just talking amongst each other. Um, okay. Well, I'm not going to take too much more time here. I've already spent about 40 minutes or so. And we only have 2 more pairs to talk about, or that I'm going to talk with you about. This has been a great looking staircase trend that's been going on the pound Australian dollar. I mean, I would expect for it to continue, but I really don't know. Eventually, it could break and go back down. With how finicky the pre-Brexit news has been, it really could take a dive. So I saw a trade happen last night. Actually, I was watching a movie during this time. I'm not looking at my charts all day, guys. I would go crazy if that was the case. So I saw this happen. I was about 30 minutes late. Now this is also not a very clean entry. New high here. This candle didn't quite break it, but we did have a Harami here, and it did move down. Now I saw this trade when the pair was about there, so I would have been late about I would have been late about 10 15 pips, I think it was. So it wasn't worth me jumping in. I also saw this. This is what's interesting, and I wanted to talk to you guys real briefly about. You know that at the end of the day, usually it's about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that the markets turn over to the next day, or the brokers turn over to the next day, and there's always the spreads get really high right when that happens, and I saw this candle happening on the pound Australian dollar, and there was a 20 pip spread during this time on Oanda. And I almost took the trade not knowing that spread was that high, and decided not to take it because 20 pips is a ridiculous spread. And it was right on the 5 p.m. candle when this gap happened, and the spread was really high, and then it moved up quite a bit. So I'm glad I stayed out of that, but be careful on these when these happen, or when you're using my technique, because when the day is changing over, because the spreads can be pretty high, and so keep that in mind. Okay. All right, the last one we're going to mention about, I don't think there's much to talk about here, is the pound US dollar. Good move up, and we had a minor staircase that was broken here on this level, and then a potential downward motion here. So if we're looking at just some price action techniques, then yeah, a lot of people would think that the pound US dollar has the potential to move back down here. I guess, it's just my guess, from looking at just straight technical analysis and looking at levels and new highs, new lows. That's my prediction. I won't be taking any trades on this pair till let's see. I'm really looking for this level up here. I mean, I know it's 400 pips away. And I'm also looking for this level to go down. If this level's broken here, then I'll be looking to take trades on the way back up to counter this move down. Okay. So nothing really going on the pound, and I don't expect to really take anything on that pair for a while. It's still really volatile too. So today it's quiet. Nothing else. for me to talk about on the trades that I've taken. We can look at my account real quickly. This is my my signal. It's called Pullback, a U.S. compliant signal. Now, the reason why I call it a U.S. compliant signal is because I use 50 to 1 to 50 leverage, or 50 to 1 leverage. I'm one of the few guys on SimpleTrader.com that uses 50 to 1 leverage. There's not very many of us. And the reason why is because the restrictions in the U.S. are pretty heavy when it comes to trading currencies, or actually just trading in general. And we only are able to use a maximum of 1 to 50 leverage. I don't know why I keep saying the opposite, but 50 to 1 leverage. So it's important that we trade with lower risk, because we can't really risk a lot on the account. Otherwise, we'll run ourselves into trouble and get into margin issues. One reason why why a lot of traders don't want to use high margin. Typical what I see is 400 to 1 or 500 to 1 leverage, and it's when I see that, a lot of times I see the trader trying to take a lot of liberties. I see a lot of higher drawdown as well, because they have access to that leverage. And so that's why I keep my drawdown cutoff at minus 7%, to keep the account growing in a steady way. In Chile, we use let's see, some questions. Bangesh, if you can detect aramis like those, then you must be having microscopes fitted in your eyes. Yeah, sorry. I'll try to make sure and zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see them. But they can be tricky to see. But if you look at the charts long enough, I think you'll be able to start picking them out. And I'll keep going over them each day, just so you know, so you can get an idea of what they look like. Bangesh, Ryan, how often do you have baskets open before you go to sleep? Let's see. On average, I would probably say 2, maybe 3 days of the week. I will. It's more likely it's only about 2 days of the week that I have multiple trades in. And most of the time, I don't go over 3 basket trades, and it's very rare that I have 4 basket trades on one pair. It doesn't happen very often. So yeah, I would say probably 2 days on average, 2 days of the week. I have more than one trade in on the same pair. So that would be two trades on one pair, and that's typical. Best trade now is to short UJ, and that's what one user is saying. Best trade right now. It's hard to say. Right now, I'm not really thinking that anything's great. I'm still looking for things to happen, like for this to go down more, or it to go a way up, or something like that. It's not great conditions for trading right now. There's not a lot happening at the moment. It's starting to get a little late in the day. So I'm not seeing anything to trade, at least for me. If you're looking at trends, maybe the odd USD, but really I don't know if that's going to continue to go down or up. It could break that low, or it could continue up. And the reason why I say it could continue up is because if you look at the 4-hour, we look at levels. If we're looking at levels, we're looking at that there, looking at here, 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 and those are all new lower, higher lows. And until this level is broken, going down, then I'm not willing to take any short positions on the odd USD. Anything else? Just yeah, not looking great on anything right now. So I would recommend not taking any positions. That's just me though. Let's see. Okay, EG bears in full separation. Is that what you're saying? The EG. The EG looks a little bit all over the place as well. It has been moving down, and it's heavily correlated with the pound US dollar. If the pound's going up, the euro pound is likely going down. This move wasn't enough for me to take this Harami candle here. I'd want it to break that low before entering a counter trend. If you want to look for good positions for entering on a trend using my technique, this might be a good opportunity. So you see this low here, this high here. You see this low was broken here in this area, and then the bounce back up. This level here, substantial. You have a candle with a wick showing a loss in buying, or the buying is tapering off, and then you have a Harami candle right after with the potential for the pair to continue going down past this level here. It hasn't done that yet, but this level up here is barely still holding. So if you thought that level was substantial enough, you could even look for another position in here. I don't think I see any though, so there wouldn't be a re-enter there. So yeah, so you could enter there for your trade, see what's happening. Potentially, it would move down after that. Good push up, Harami candle back down, and that's what I think about on the pound, the euro pound. All right, so what else do we have? Do you have to pay taxes over your income? It's tricky. I suggest you check with the country and the city and state or whatever you live in to check on your taxes, what you have to pay with taxes. Anybody have any questions before I sign off? Does anybody want me to analyze a specific pair? If you have a question about it, if you are in a trade now, you're wondering how far it's going to go, what the potential of it is, let me know before I sign off, and then I can give you some hints. We don't pay taxes in Chile, but in the USA. So how I understand it. This is how I understand it in the US. Now, don't take my word for this, guys. Is that if your money is in a brokerage account, it does not count as income. Now, if you make a withdrawal, let's say you have $10,000 in your brokerage account, you don't have to report that you actually physically have that $10,000 because it's in a brokerage account. But if if you withdraw that $10,000 into your bank account, that is when you have to pay taxes on it. So don't take my word on that. Make sure and check with your accountant just to be safe. But so far, that's how I've gone about it. Okay. Yes, your broker can send you a 1099 at the end of the year, but I believe that if it's under a certain amount, you don't have to report it. So I haven't had any problems with it yet. who knows if that will stay the case. When my account gets larger, I will probably seek out my accountant to get some more information on it. So that is my story regarding taxes. So currently the euro US dollar is moving down. Not really heavily though. Just a few pips. It may test this low down here. We'll just have to see what happens. Okay. Any other questions before I sign off? Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out my signal if you want to copy my performance or join me. You can copy my signal from SimpleTrader.com. And this is my performance. You can check out all my details on how I trade. You can see that I have $9,573 in my account, and this is my personal money. And you can see my stats here. Had some last 3 months were good, and then I had a losing trade. Still have about a week left, a week and a half left to make this some of this loss back. Okay. Well, guys, it's been fun, and happy trading, and good luck to you on the rest of today, and also tomorrow. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.